Hey guys, Comet here. Welcome to episode 15 in my Spaced Out series. So in the last episode, I broke down into the oil biome here and started pumping out some oil with these oil wells, and I got in some plastic production. Now you may notice there's quite a few changes. Most obvious is that there's very little ethanol down here now. I've got most of it pumped out into these reservoirs up here. I'll eventually burn all this off. Had a little bit of an oopsie here, and I've also pumped out pretty much all of the steam, and so it's kind of hot up in this area now, and I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but I was pumping out the steam with gas pumps and then letting this aqua tuner here cool off this area so the steam would condense, when I could have just put some steam turbines across the top up here, which I think I'm actually going to do permanently once I have enough steel to make some petroleum and natural gas generators over here. And it was so hot in here at one point that all of my transit tubing melted, so I have a bunch of naphtha down here. So I put in this new vacuum lock so no heat can escape. So what I want to do in this episode is make a renewable metal refinery where I can make all of my refined metals. And I was either going to put it here, or I could ship back some petroleum and put it over here. I think I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to need some space for a transit tube access point and 4 metal refineries. Then I think I also want to put one more access point over here. And then in this area here, this needs to be a vacuum. Then the steam room and the steam turbines. Now if I add 2 more blocks to this, I can actually fit 4 steam turbines. And I may want some space for a battery. That means I need 4 extra tiles. So 1, 2, 3. There's the 4 refineries. Transit tube access. So now I have room for 1, 2, 3, 4 steam turbines. I can fit a power transformer here for the... Oh, I don't have enough steel for... Okay, I'll put in one with iron ore as a placeholder. Now, these refineries are going to interfere with the aqua tuner, or rather the aqua tuner being in this spot is going to interfere with these refineries, so I have to move these over. So there's going to be some liquid reservoirs here and here. And so I need this plumbing to be out of the way of these reservoirs. So the route for... Let's see. The coolant can come down here, into the aqua tuner, into the bypass, out of the aqua tuner, back up to here, cool off the steam turbines, come down this way, and then I might need some metal tiling. Here instead. That way you can cool off this room through the floor, and then it'll come up this way, cool off these turbines, and then go back into the aqua tuner. But now the plumbing on these refineries, this is a little complicated. It needs to go up into a bridge and then down into the refinery, because the coolant into the refinery needs to take priority, because the second place the coolant is going to go is up into this room up here to give off its heat into the steam. but that needs to happen on a lower priority than the coolant leaving the refinery. And that's the same for all of these. Okay, so this is actually going to be in the way. I need to go up this way. Then the coolant can run along here, give off its heat, and then go back into here. And because these are going to be in a vacuum, this piping here doesn't need to be insulated. Now the steam turbine's exhaust, let's see, that can come down. Okay, I need to move this over, because the steam turbines can output their exhaust down this way into the corners. I can start filling up this steam room with some water. I want to get some petroleum into these loops as well, so if I branch off right here, put in a filter, and then go back onto the line, I can send over some petroleum. And get that into these tanks here. So rather than sending the petroleum over to be turned into plastic, I'm going to send it over this way. And snip that. I want to try and force all of this oxygen out of here. And then I need to pull a vacuum in this room. And it's very important that this is a vacuum, because the liquid reservoirs would eventually overheat, because this petroleum that's flowing through the loop will sometimes be over 400 degrees. So either the piping in here needs to be made out of insulation so that no heat can be lost, or these liquid reservoirs need to be made out of something that can't break at high temperatures. And I don't really have either of those materials, so I'm just going to make this a vacuum. The other alternative would be to actively cool off the atmosphere that's in this room. So it looks like this refinery is ready to go. I want to get the temperature shift plates finished off here, so I'm going to need 800 times 4 plus 21. So I need to do 25 batches of copper here. So you can see this liquid pipe here is warming up, but it doesn't matter. It can't transfer any of its heat because there's no medium here. It's a vacuum. So these liquid reservoirs can never overheat. They're stuck at whatever temperature they are right now. Now I don't want this aqua tuner here. Actually, I want to get one of these refineries to make some steel. I need refined carbon. And then I also need to put in the thermosensor that triggers the aqua tuner. So if the coolant in the loop is ever above 16 degrees, because I'm going to be using water, I want this aqua tuner to cool it off. And to properly fill these, I should be bridging in right here. And if I really wanted to, I guess I could put in some lights here so that they build more quickly. So the reservoirs should be filled up to about half. So it looks like this one is full. Well, it's not full. You don't want it to be full. You want a little bit of room so that there's always room for the liquid to circulate. So this one looks about full now, or as full as I want it to be. So I will remove this bridge. So now I can ship back all of the steel that these are making. And now what I can do with all of that steel is put in all of the generators over here. I can fit the petroleum generators down here at the bottom. All 8 of them. And then the natural gas generators up here. I think I can fit all of the steam turbines right in here, because all of the steam will be made by these, and then it'll float up to the top. So now I have this little system here. This aquatuner will take any heat that these steam turbines generate and put it back down here to heat up the steam so that they make more power. These should do a good job of clearing out all this steam at the top, and then I'm just sending that water back over to the oil wells. Now I want to get a rancher over here and move some slicksters into this space here and start producing some food over on this planetoid, because this isn't really keeping up. I used to have a 4 where that 2 is now. I want to use up all of this petroleum. Not petroleum, ethanol. So here comes the ethanol. That will get these generators going, making some carbon dioxide and steam. I can then run the steam back into these to make some crude oil, which I can then turn into petroleum. But to start ranching these guys, I either need to do a personnel swap or get some of these duplicants skilled into critter ranching. And it doesn't look like any of them are interested in that. But Liam is interested. So I think if I swap Liam with Hassan, then everything should work itself out. So let's see. I want to send Hassan back, and Liam in here. And then under priorities, let's have Liam, instead of tidying, he'll start ranching. And I need to do a quick schedule swap. So where Liam used to be, we're going to put Hassan, and then the empty spot here, where Hassan used to be, will be Liam. Now to actually get these into the ranch, I can either wait for them to lay an egg and put the egg in the ranch, or I could just put some traps. And the first thing on Liam's to-do list should be ranching, yes, okay. And seeing all of this dirt form actually gives me an idea. I can grow some mealwood down here, because this will be kept cool by the aquatuner. I think the last thing I'll do here is dig down this way into this last section here to put an oil well on this reservoir. So I'll put the pump down here now and send the crude oil up to here. And then I think alongside ranching, I will also have Liam do some farming, because these aren't getting fertilized. I think there's a way to get the steam to stay closer to the top, because what's happening here, the petroleum generator gives off polluted water, and it doesn't turn into steam until it touches a surface down here. It just falls straight through the mesh tiling. So if I put a metal tile right on the output here, it should turn into steam up here, closer to the steam turbines, so it doesn't have to displace as much stuff on its way up. And similarly, with the natural gas generators. Okay, so everything looks like it's working now. I've got all 5 oil wells running. I have a small slickster farm started. I'm burning off all of the petroleum I'm making to feed the slicksters. And I've also started this mealwood farm here. That way this colony can become more self-sufficient. I've disconnected this rail here, so all of the food made back on the main colony will stay on the main colony. I also put in this beast of a machine here that recycles all of the heat from the oil refineries and turns it into power. So every recipe in here is power positive except for gold amalgam. It takes more power than you can get back to make gold amalgam. So this will let me fabricate all of the refined metals I need. I think between episodes, I still gotta figure out what to do with all this sour gas down here. I might just put it in some gas reservoirs, because I can't actually do anything with it yet. I need to get supercoolant so that I can make a sour gas boiler, and then I also want to make a petroleum boiler so that I don't have to rely on this refinery anymore. So I think the next step, I need to go find another planetoid to visit. So I've been to Charbonneau, and it doesn't look all that interesting. I might want to get a telescope going on this planetoid. I can send Gosman over, have her research some of the sky, see if I can find another planetoid, and then launch another rocket, and this time, I won't get Gosman killed. If you'd like to see more content like this, consider subscribing, and if you did enjoy the video, let everyone know by hitting that like button. But anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next episode.